Let me start, Mr. Chairman, by submitting for the record the Army timeline of events from December 31st, 2020 through January 7, 2021. That report dated January 7, 2021.
Without objection.
I find some of the comments this morning interesting because I too was on the floor that day, and I find it interesting because there's an allegation that the commander-in-chief has to call everybody who's in the chain of command to make sure his orders are followed. It is my understanding, and I believe that the evidence today will show from these gentlemen who have given their time and are whistleblowers, meaning they're coming forward with something that other people may not want to have heard, that we will discover through their testimony that in fact the President had given the instruction, perhaps misunderstood on January 3rd, but certainly on January 6th, prior to that instruction being relayed by his officers in accordance with the general military procedure to the D.C. National Guard. And that's a big part of what this hearing will be about today, and I think it's important that we keep that in mind. Further, we've heard a lot about the attempts to rewrite history, because the January 6th committee is allegedly supposed to have already done all of this. But we will hear, I believe, from these gentlemen today that they were not talked to by the January 6th commission. And further, that commission will forever in history be tainted, because it was the first time in history, in an attempt to write the history after the fact, that both sides, both major parties in this political situation that we have found ourselves in for the last 175, 200 years, both were not invited to participate in an equal manner. That the Republican representatives who were supposed to be on that, who was originally set up, were supposed to be a part of the January 6th committee, were not allowed to be present. They were not allowed to cross-examine witnesses. They were not allowed to ask for witnesses like these four brave gentlemen who are here with us today. They weren't allowed to call those witnesses to appear in front of the January 6th committee. So while the January 6th committee may have found some very interesting information, they intentionally chose not to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. At the very best, it can be described as a partial attempt to put forward facts that favored their side of the narrative and not to get to all the facts. And as Jack Webb and his famous character from Dragnet used to say, the facts. We just want the facts, ma'am. That's what we're here to do today, is to try to make sure that we're getting to the facts, not the political rhetoric, not the emotions per se, but the facts from four brave gentlemen who serve our nation and have served our nation, who have come forward. I don't know any of these gentlemen. I don't believe any of them has a political axe to grind. They are here just to deliver the facts. I yield back.